So the Kone Pro Air is Roccat's newest wireless release, and in the same package it's quite a large, lightweight, asymmetrical mouse. I've tried mice from Kone series before, and from the hand feeling it's quite easy to tell that this fits right into that category. The thumb curve and the curvature on the right side are quite iconic to the Kone series. Compared to the Kone Pro Ultra, the Air is actually quite a bit larger. The Ultra was mainly good for claw grip, but the Pro series works for palm grip as well. The hump of the mouse is very wide and it's quite towards the back of the mouse, so there will be quite a lot of palm contact. The mouse is also fairly long at 126mm, so it's very suitable for large hands. But because these trigger pieces are very long and they are actually fairly easy to actuate even from further back, it's actually very good for small and medium-sized hands as well. In my opinion, this is a very good design because it can be very good for those larger hand people, but at the same time you don't alienate the people who have small or medium-sized hands. The thumb curve is very large, so it does not force your thumb to a certain place, and the curvature on the right side, even though it's somewhat aggressive, it still gives you that option of where you want to put your fingers. The front part has enough room for a relaxed finger position, and the curve itself is nice and gradual for an aggressive finger position. To be honest, I'm fairly surprised how well this shape seems to work for many grip styles and hand sizes, but it's of course a very unique shape, so you do need to give it enough time for you to get used to it. For the past month or two, I've mostly been pincer claw gripping mice, and I have to say that the Kone Pro Air works very well with this grip. Pincer clawing a large mouse like this can limit the palm contact that you have, which means that you get some more mobility, but you do not lose that much stability because your palm is at least touching the mouse to some extent. It's a perfect grip style for me when I'm trying a mouse that's a little bit too small or a little bit too large for my standard claw. And to be honest, in the near future I will most likely be migrating to pincer claw completely. By the way, clicking the like button on my videos does improve your aim. I mean, even Carlos was able to improve by clicking the like button. And he's possibly the most cracked Apex player in the mouse review community. Go check him out at Hardware Unplugged. The build quality on the Kone Pro Air is top tier. There is absolutely no creaking, no flex and no rattle. The mouse weighs 73 grams on my scale and it's well balanced. I would definitely say that it's a lightweight mouse for this size category. Looking at the coding, Roccat pretty much set the standard with the Pure Ultra, as it has one of the best feeling codings that I've tried. The Kone Pro Air coding is very good in terms of hand feeling and how grip it is, but it does not feel nearly as premium. The sides of the mouse also have these kind of lines, but I can barely feel them when I hold the mouse. The mouse feet are heat-treated pure PTFE glides, and there is one large feet at the front and one large feet at the back. The glide is fast and smooth, and these work very well with any kind of mouse pad. With these larger and slightly heavier mice, I usually prefer a faster pad myself. But let's move on to other things and start with the buttons. The switches on these are the Roccat Titan opticals. We did see these switches before in the Roccat Burst Pro, but with my Kone Pro Air, the click feeling is at least much better than the Burst Pro. These optical switches seem to be quite unit dependent though, so your unit might of course feel quite a bit different than mine. For me, the click feeling is light and tactile, but these are not the snappiest switches. So the click feeling might not be the most pleasing for general use, but for gaming these are actually very good. They are very spammable, so I didn't have any kind of issues tap firing in CSGO, and even the click latency seems to be very top tier. If you want to know more about click latency, check out Tech Power Up for Psokol's reviews. His Kone Pro Air review should be out soon. The clicks are also fairly consistent, as it does not matter that much where I click the button from. There is some post travel, but that is needed for a nice and light click feeling in my opinion, and there is also some pre-travel, but it does not bother me at all. All in all, the click feeling is not premium by any means, but they are very functional for gaming purposes. The side buttons are very crispy and tactile, but there is some post and pre-travel. The click feeling is still very nice, and I would say that these are very good for gaming and general use. For the placement, the way I grip the mouse, I at least have to move my thumb quite a bit upward to click the buttons. The scroll wheel then again has very defined steps and it's quite heavy. It works well for gaming and general use, but it's not the nicest feeling scroll wheel I've tried. Actuating the scroll wheel button needs a medium amount of force. Here is a quick sound test. The sensor in the Kone Pro Air is the 3370 from Pixar, and it's a top tier sensor, and the wireless implementation is very well done. Roccat is almost on the level of Razer Viper Ultimate and the Superlight. Lift-off distance is also under 1 dBd, but the polling rate stability seems to be an issue if you have RGB on. I can notice the difference if I'm using AMO mode versus RGB off, but not with any other mode. Again, for more details about this, wait for that Tech Power Up review, and there should also be fixing coming. All in all, the sensor and the wireless performance is very top tier, especially if you do not use used RGB. The only possible issue here is that Roccat does not provide a wireless extender. So for example, if you have a lot of wireless devices near you and you have to use a USB 3 port, you might have some interference issues. So an extender would be a very nice inclusion, especially at this price. I've been using a random extender myself. With these, the signal strength is going to be excellent. The battery life is also very good on the Kone Pro Air. I've been using it for about a week and a half without a charge, but I'm not sure if this battery life indicator is quite correct on the Swarm software. It's been on 90% for about 5 days, so I'm not quite sure if it works. But whatever the case, the battery life is going to be excellent, and the inclusion of Bluetooth even helps if you use the mouse for productivity. The power saving features also seem to be on point, and the wake up time seems to be near instant. So yeah, even in terms of convenience, this mouse would be a top tier choice if they included that extender, but now I will have to say that it's just good. Of course, if you have those random extenders lying around, you can make it top tier yourself, but it's still irritating that it's not included in the box. So the Kone Pro Air is definitely a top tier choice. At the moment you can get the Roccat Kone Pro Air for $100 and that's pretty insane value for money. That's only for the US people though. If you happen to be European, Max Gaming is going to be one of the better places to buy the mouse from. And the price here is about 130 euros. I did not even use the mouse for that long and I played very well with it. I might even keep using this in the future as well. But that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button and see you in the next one.